Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about everything that I made in the month of March, and I'm going to put pictures up right here of everything that I made. This month I made a lot. This is the most I have ever made in a month. Last month my goal was to finish 2 items each day, and then for March I decided to try to do 3 things each day, and this was tough, but I actually did it. I got 3 things finished every single day. Most of those I fully did this month. A few of them were items that had already been started, but I really kind of shocked myself with how much I was able to get done this month. But my next few months coming up, I don't have as much time to crochet, so I was really trying to stock up and get everything ready for my markets for the summer. We'll go ahead and get into it. The first thing that I made this month was actually a pattern test, and this is a Ladybug, and I tested this on Ribblr. I don't think the pattern is available yet, but I'll still have it linked below. And then I made 2 possums. Then I made 3 axolotls. So I usually make different variations of pink ones, and so I made 2 with this kind of rainbowy yarn, and then the other one's just like a pink and white yarn. And then I made 2 rainbow bees. So one was with a rainbow variegated yarn, and then the other one I color changed each row for the rainbow colors. And then I made 3 regular bees, just the classic yellow and black. And then I made 2 whale keychains. Then I made 2 triceratops, and I only have one of them left right now, so I'm going to need to make some more next month. And then I made 4 more bandanas. If you saw everything I made last month, you know I've been making a lot of these bandanas. So the first one I made is like this blue and purple one. That one I was using some old scrap yarn that I had. And then these other ones are the big twist yarn from Joann's. The next thing I made was another pattern test. This one was for Crochet by SMB on Instagram, and it's actually a free pattern, which is really cool. It's a pretty big pattern, so it was awesome that it was free. So it's this really cute mermaid dog, and I just love it. It's super cute. And then I made 3 of these little baby aliens. And then I made a snake. I hadn't made a snake in probably a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I'd only made 1 snake before, and it was a larger one, so I wanted to try a smaller pattern, and I found this pattern on Ribblr. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen I made a silly reel with this one while I was camping. I made it while I was camping, and then I had an idea to make this silly reel, so I might put that video in here too, just to show you. And then the next thing I made was this cookies and cream cow, and I really love this one. This was made with a different yarn than I usually use. This was, I think it was Sweet Snuggles. It was like a thicker yarn than I usually use, so I did have to use a different hook. But I actually saw the tutorial for this on YouTube, and I'll have that linked in the description as well. I'm gonna have all the patterns linked there too. And then I made an octopus. I used some scrap yarn that I had left over from a large dinosaur that I made. And with that same yarn, I also made a mini Octo, and then I made another mini Octo with some other scrap yarn. And then I made a gecko. I hadn't made one of these in a while. I usually like to have one at each market, and it might take 1 or 2 markets to sell. And then I also made an alligator. This is the same thing. I like to have just one of these, and it'll usually take 1 or 2 markets for them to sell. And then I made 2 strawberries. I like to have some fruits and vegetables for my spring markets, so I made a couple of strawberries. And then I made another classic bee. And then I made 4 more bandanas. So the first 3 are using the the big twist yarn from Joann's, and then the last one was some scrap yarn that my cousin gave me like a year ago that I was like, oh, those colors are cute, and she didn't know what brand the yarn was or anything. It felt different than anything that I've used, so I'm not really sure what kind of yarn it is, but that's the purple one. And then I made a chick. I ran out of my regular bright orange, so I used like this pastel orange for the beak and the feet, and I don't like it as much because it doesn't contrast as much with the yellow, but I did make a few like that. And then I made a white Leggy Chicky, and that is my pattern. People really like the white one. I was surprised people like the white one more than the yellow one, so I keep having to make more of the white ones. And then I finally made a blue axolotl. I always make pink ones, different variations of pink. I usually use like some variegated yarn, but I decided to finally try a different color, and I made the blue one, and I really liked it. I did somehow forget to take a video of this one, so I wasn't able to make a reel of it, but I do have the picture of it. The next thing I made was another pattern test. This was a pattern test for Little Baby Rory Crafts on Instagram, and it's this cute little avocado. For the pattern, she has 2 different sizes, and this is the small one, and then there's also a big one, but I didn't test that one. And then I made 4 more rainbow bees, so 2 more with the variegated rainbow yarn, and then the other 2 were the ones where I changed the colors every row to get the rainbow. And one of those I forgot a row in it, and so the purple starts like a little bit sooner than it was supposed to, but it's still super cute. And then after that I made another Octo with some scrap yarn, and then I made another classic bee, and then another rainbow bee with the variegated yarn. I have a Pride Market coming up, so I was trying to make a lot of rainbow stuff for that. And then I made another blue axolotl. This one is just a solid blue, where the first one I made was like a variegated blue. But I think they're both really cute, and it inspired me to make some other colors as well, so in the future you might see some different color axolotls. Next I made a rainbow. This one I accidentally went in the wrong order of colors, so I mean, I think it's technically still the same order, it's just that I started with the red on the bottom instead of on the top. But I think it's still cute, and maybe somebody who really likes blue will get this one since it's more blue on it. And then I made a mini Octo. Next I made 2 more bandanas. I think the first one is the big twist yarn, and then the second one, I think it may have been scrap yarn. It was either scrap yarn or it was another big twist yarn. And then I made 2 more rainbows. These ones I got the colors right this time. And then I made a large dino. This is an ombre blue one. I really love making the ombre ones. They're super cute. The only thing about it though is it's kind of hard to get the ombre just right, because I'll show you on this one. So how you make the dinosaur is you make the feet and you connect those, and then you go up to the body, and then you actually leave a hole right here, and you go up and do the rest, and then when you're done, you come back and do the tail. Well, if it's just a solid color or like this one, you just go all the way up and then come back and do the tail. But with the ombre yarn, I don't want to have like the dark colors here and then the light from the very end of the skein up here. So I go to this point, and then once I get to the hole for the tail, I have to cut my yarn and save a certain amount and guess how much yarn I'm going to use for the tail, save that amount, and then tie back on and finish the head, and then go to this. So on that one I like had barely enough yarn to finish the tail, but I still love doing the ombre ones. And then I made 2 more bandanas. Now these technically I just finished. They were almost done, but they had a lot of ends to weave in. So since I weaved in the ends and I finished them this month, I went ahead and counted them in this month's video. But technically I did crochet them like, I would say a year and a half ago. I had a pile of old bandanas that I made that I just haven't weaved the ends in yet, and so I finished those two. I still have more to weave in, I just don't enjoy weaving the ends in. So so those I finished this month. I didn't fully make them, but I finished them this month, and I think the first one I'm gonna keep for myself, and I might wear that one at my markets. I just really like that one. And then I made 2 mini Octo keychains. I haven't done them, I don't think I've done them as keychains before. I think this was the first time. I was at a market while I was making these ones, and one of them sold while I was at the market, so that was really cool. I am planning to make some more of those eventually. And then I made 3 Octos with some scrap yarn. I was running a little bit low on my Octos at that market the night before, so I made these the next day. And then I made another mini Octo. So I haven't told you guys yet, but I just got a little claw machine, and so I wanted to make some mini Octos to use for that. But when the claw machine got here, I was so excited and I was going to put it together, and there's like no instructions. There's a piece of paper that shows you like how many different pieces are in it, and that's it. It doesn't tell you how to put it together, and there's like 60 to 100 pieces. So it's going to take more time for me to put that together than I thought. But eventually I'm going to get that together, and I think that will be super fun to have at my markets. So the next thing I made were these 2 cows, and this was a pattern test also. I think it's super cute. The cows are laying down, and I was actually surprised by how quick I was able to make these. I thought that it was going to take much longer than it did. I think it took right about an hour to make, and then all I had to do was just stuff and weave in the ends, so a little over an hour to make them. But they're super, super cute. Definitely check out that pattern. I was super excited to test this one because this is from one of my favorite pattern creators and one of my favorite crochet influencers, I guess you could say. I really love watching her TikToks and her Instagram videos, so that was really exciting for me to be able to test those. And then I made another chick. By this time, I finally got my hands on the orange yarn that I needed, so that one has the right contrast in it. I don't know what it was, but I had a lot of issues finding that orange yarn. I went to 2 different locations of Joann's. Each of those I went to twice, and they didn't have it. Even when it said online they did have it. And I asked the managers, and they said they didn't have it. And then I tried to order it online, and of course I accidentally ordered the wrong color, so that so I didn't get it then, and then I didn't want to order again and pay for shipping again, so I waited a little longer, and then finally they got it in at the store. So it took me a while to get that yellow, but I finally got it. And then I made another Octo. This one I embroidered the eyes on. I'd like to have a few items without safety eyes, so every once in a while I will embroider the eyes on instead of doing safety eyes. I don't love embroidering the eyes. I don't think I'm very good at it. I need some more practice with it, but it works for now. And then I made this mini pink Octo. This is with the Posh yarn, and I actually made this one as I was making it. My other pink one that was about the same as this one sold, and then I put this one out, and then it sold. So that was cool. It's always cool when you're at a market and you make something and it sells immediately. And then these I also made while I was at the market. I made 2 pop mushrooms. I actually realized when I was at this market, I thought that I had like 3 pop mushrooms and I only had 1. So I was like, I need to hurry up and make these. So I made a bunch of the tops, and I actually sent my boyfriend home to grab my white yarn so I could finish them. So I finished these 2, and then I had some other tops that I had started, but I hadn't finished them yet. And then I also finished this turtle while I was at that market. I had crocheted it the day before, but I didn't finish it till I was at the market. So I really love this one. It's so cute. And then I went ahead and made 2 more rainbow bees. And then I made 2 more Leggy Chickies. I made one yellow one, classic yellow, and then I made another white one because, again, I sold the white one. And then I went ahead and finished those pot mushrooms that I had started the tops of. So I actually made 4 of them. 2 were red, and then 2 of them were different variegated yarns. And then I made 2 mini Octos. One is blue and one is purple. The purple one is in Honey Bunny yarn. And then I made 2 more Octos. One is blue and one is pink. For the pink one, I tried to do little sleepy eyes on it. I can't tell if it looks sleepy or grumpy. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. Let me know below if you think it looks grumpy or sleepy, because I can't really tell. And then I made 2 more axolotls. I made a classic pink one like I usually do, and then I made a purple one. So this is the first purple axolotl that I've made, and I actually really like this one. I definitely want to make another one like this. And like I said, I'm probably going to try some more colors as well. And then I made 2 more possums. So the first one is like the other 2 that I already showed that I made this month, and then the other one is a little one that I did a pattern test for last month. So if it looks familiar, that's why I did make one of these before, and I decided to make a second one. People really love the possums, and they usually do sell well for me, but I don't know why I just don't enjoy making them. I think it's because, maybe it's because there's so many color changes in it, and I think maybe that's why I don't like it. I don't know. Hopefully I'll enjoy making them more, but for some reason the possums just aren't my favorite thing to make, so not sure if I'll be making more soon. Eventually I'm sure I will. And then I made another mini Octo. This is another purple one with the Honey Bunny yarn from Hobie. And then the last thing that I made was a Pickle, and this is with the Sweet Snuggles yarn. So that is everything that I made for the month. I was really shocked with how many things I made. So I made 90 items this month, which is crazy to me. That is 3 items a day. So I made my goal. When I set that goal, I thought it wasn't a super realistic goal. I just thought, you know, if I could make that, it would be awesome, but I probably won't. So I was surprised that I actually was able to make that goal. A lot of the items I made were kind of small, but there were also some bigger items in there too. So I'm really happy with this month. I made a lot of things. I may have pushed myself a little far. My wrists have been very sore. I did have to ice them some and take a painkiller a couple of times. So I definitely need to slow down on that. So next month I have a lot of plans where I am not going to be able to crochet as much. So next month I might not make as many items. Well, actually, I'm sure I won't make as many items as this month, but we'll see how many I can make next month. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite item that I made. I think my favorite item would probably be the cow, the cookies and cream cow, or maybe the puppy mermaid. I really love both of those. But I want to know what your favorite is, so let me know in the comments. And don't forget to check out the description because I have all of these patterns that I used linked there. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing so you can see my next videos. I've got multiple markets coming up, so I will have some more market vlogs coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys.